Good afternoon. Our speaker today is Gabriel Yanagihara, and he's got a lot to cover, so we're going to get into it right away. Thank you.
Awesome. So welcome everyone. My name is Gabriel Yanagihara. I'm born and raised on Maui. Came here to the University of Hawaii at Manoa to hang around and make video games in Hawaii. In 2009, Iolani School picked me up, and I've been there ever since. So I do emerging technology teaching there. I'm gonna have you click onto the slides. So yeah, there we go. Perfect. So today's session is just going to be a very introductory crash course in kind of all things AI, a mix of discussions, sharing kind of what I've been seeing happening around the state as I've been doing a lot of consulting work around, and then going at it from there. Is the mic working?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to double check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I asked AI what I look like based on all my emails and everything I've ever written. And that's what it thinks I look like at my job at Iolani School. So I'm kind of the guinea pig. Anytime there's new technology, virtual reality, esports, gaming, 3D printing, that's essentially my role. So when ChatGPT came out 3.5, 2.5 years ago, head of the school was like, here's this cool new thing, play with it. I'm like, sweet, happy little fun thing to play with, right? Unfortunately, within 30 minutes of using the tool, I'm pretty sure I replaced 2 of my coworkers' entire jobs. Okay, that was very much my reaction at the time, be like, oh, this is going to change everything. We have to figure this out. Every school, every SA, people are going to be using this for legal practices. People are going to be using this to like write contracts for each other, and they're going to suck, and they're going to get themselves in trouble. Students are going to cheat with it. We got to figure this out. So fortunately, Iolani School was very supportive. And I just completely replaced myself with AI. I know everyone's going to make mistakes. So I spent a full year and I completely replaced myself with AI. That means my lesson plans, my projects, everything. Okay, I wanted to see what would it look like if I tried to essentially put myself out of a job. So luckily for them, they promised they weren't going to fire me. And I got to play around and experiment with all of these tools. As a result, I ended up making 11 million views on social media using these processes and restarting my entire consulting business on the side. Okay, so to dive all the way into it in the beginning, this last summer, we really wanted to see what this was going to change about just the educational world in general, and then as a subset of that, just general work-life balance and everything, right? What is this going to do for productivity with our population? So we took a bunch of students for 6 hours per day for 2 weeks, and we just ran them through a whole bunch of academic knowledge and lessons and projects and all of these new tools, ChatGPT, this device here, and a whole bunch of image and video generation as well, to see what they're able to do and what the effect of this is going to be in the education and workforce. We took those lessons and examples, and I've outside of my teaching role, I've been helping the rest of Hawaii do workforce development. We've got over 2,500 teachers and workers trained and keynotes across the state, basically doing certifications and safety trainings and everything on what AI is, how to use it, how to get started, help businesses get their feet off the ground in Hawaii. And it's been a really fun experience. I think the biggest thing that I really think Hawaii has the unique benefit is that it requires no infrastructure. We'll get into the legal side of it too, but the free tools have, like, they're free. There's no requirement. You can start generating 200-page books today, right? When we go home by today, you can write your entire family's history as a book, publish it on Amazon, and like you can have all your family members buy like the family history and everything. So yeah, we're gonna be crash coursing on all of this stuff. Again, my goal for Hawaii is to be Hawaii's resource for all things AI. So either to work as an expert witness or consultant or do trainings across the way. So let's dive right in. Those guys who are taking notes, I want you to write down these 2 things. Online, you guys can type it into chat. Think about the biggest time sink or pain point in your day. What is the thing that uses up and melts the most of your hours? Write that down somewhere. Mental note on your paper if you want. And second, to help us get really familiar with this ChatGPT and these other generative AI tools, I want you to think of a personal non-work goal or dream, or potentially a new vacation destination that you've never thought of going to before. Okay, write those down real quick, because we're going to need them for when we get into the AI tools later. So for me as a teacher, right, my biggest time sink is updating lesson plans, evaluating 200 pages of written work by students, that kind of stuff. And my personal non-work goal or dream at the time was for my girlfriend and I to open our own business. right? And to run things. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so here's our game plan for the day. I got 180 slides and only 50 minutes with you. So we're gonna speed through everything there is to know about ChatGPT and AI. We're gonna talk about AI and its capabilities, how folks are saving time with it, get hands-on with some of the free tools, and actually hopefully get some work done. Are you guys ready? Awesome. Oh. Oh no, all my slides have been deleted. Whatever shall I do? Hey, ChatGPT, I'm actually at the Hawaii State Bar Association right now, and I'm in the middle of giving a presentation on what AI is and how it's relevant to lawyers and the law offices. But my slides all got deleted. Can you generate me a whole new set of slides and content for that?
Hey, Gabriel, sure, I can help. Let's break it down. For an AI presentation to lawyers, you might want to start with an intro to AI, including machine learning and natural language processing. Then cover practical applications.
Okay, wait, sorry to interrupt you. Actually, I partied way too much last night. Can you just give me the full speaker notes and everything as well?
No worries. Here's a quick rundown. Start with the definition of AI and its main branches, like machine learning and natural language
Awesome. Okay, can you generate me a picture for the title slide?
I can't generate images directly, but I can suggest one. How about an image of a judge's gavel combined with a digital circuit board? That could symbolize the intersection of law and technology.
Got it. So there's all our slide decks and information and everything for this. When these tools first came out, they would hallucinate a lot. They would make a lot of mistakes. Now with deep research and the capabilities this year, it will go out and give you a master's degree thesis paper of 20, 30 pages with citations, but only of information that's available on the internet, okay? So all these slides and content over the years, I've developed alongside AI, and that's for it as well. And it does generate pictures, just because I was in voice mode, the voice mode doesn't generate pictures. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking, that was ChatGPT. There are many main players in the large language model arena. Everyone else is basically selling you a service to access these. So for those of you car people, the people who are making these models, these AIs, cost billions of dollars. Think Costco-sized warehouse full of computer chips to process all this stuff, to build these models. That's like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Microsoft's Copilot, built on these models, okay? Everyone else afterwards is going to be building the rest of the car around it, right? The seat belts, the steering wheel, and everything like that. So if someone's coming to you and selling you, oh, I have this cool lawyer AI for $3,000 a month, you can have your own AI. They're just taking your questions, feeding it to one of the engines, and then coming back on a nice website and charging you like, you know, this is $20 a month. They're charging you $5,000 a month, right? So that's what a lot of the market's doing for right now. But we'll get into that later. Today, I want to start off with bright spots, which are just really exciting uses of AI that I found from around Hawaii. So the first one, so I'm originally from Maui. I grew up surfing Model Wharf. And after the wildfires, there was a group of from Jordan Mission who saw that doing the rebuild and redesign and everything, right? People weren't going to the students and like talking to them and ask, oh, what is it going to take for you? What do you want to see Lahaina look like when it's rebuilt, right? So the students obviously can't afford, they lost their home. They can't afford a $30 million design, you know, consultancy group and architectural renderings group. So we had generative AI just take their ideas, listen to them, talk to them the same way I talk like this, and then generate pictures of what they want Lahaina to look like. So then we created postcards from the future of Lahaina with one of the cohorts of students that came through this project. And now any person in Hawaii with no architectural rendering background, no artistic background, can generate what they want to visualize and communicate out, okay? So this is architectural rendering sketches. And you can tell this is the Maui boys with their lifted pickup trucks everywhere, right? But they wanted all that place. They wanted these kind of visuals. So then for 10 cents a print at like Kinko's or whatever, they printed these and they could disseminate them and give them out to everyone. So that put the capabilities within just anyone who has the agency to talk to ChatGPT for 30 seconds. Okay, so they made postcards with it about here's what we want to see for Lahaina, and then they were able to ship it out to everybody. Okay, but all that did is a zero budget project. So it gave agency and capabilities to the nonprofits and teachers and the local communities to do that kind of stuff. Same thing, for some of my AI consulting work, I went with STEMworks to Molokai. And we were able to teach the students how to use these generative AI tools, the image generators and the book and the text generators, to generate their own children's books and illustrations and stuff to tell the stories that are very local and very unique to here. So imagine your office has a children's book or a book, right, that everyone who walks through your door can just take home with them, right? And it's illustrated and designed to match whatever brand or social that you have. So this is one that we did for HIEMA, so Hawaii Emergency Management. They have this huge PDFs of like ocean safety and tsunami safety and everything. Nobody's watching them. I think they have like, they've been up for a couple of years and have, you know, a couple of views on YouTube. And they had this really cool idea of, can we get students more engaged with it by having them create their own Aesop's fables type things that teach the lessons and the main talking points of tsunami safety, okay? We were quoted, I think like 20 to 40 grand for the whole publishing and order minimum 500 books and get the pages illustrated and everything. And a middle school student on Molokai doesn't have those kind of resources, but these generative AI tools allows them to play with that, make their own stories, publish on Amazon and get them printed. Shipped to Hawaii, I think is like $4 each. Okay. I think previously it's like minimum order 500 copies or something like that. Okay. It was simple as tell the AI your story. Like, hey, I want to do a story about a coconut that his brain fell out. Right? So, right? And then it generates the page and page and page using all 3 tools. So that brings us to all the students and all the people here being publishers of their own stories and generating stuff. Okay, we're gonna get to the business side too, but I just wanted to get some feel good stuff. So my girlfriend and I did use ChatGPT and we're able to start our own business. She is now doing very well for herself, working 2 days a week with 7 employees. We use ChatGPT to help us with our business plan, to navigate the setting up LLC, setting up all the lease agreements, setting up for everything. We didn't have to consult with anybody. And now we use it to develop a brand and everything else in Kaka'ako as partnership with the rock climbing gym there. And that's all there, right? So anytime you have a question about business, question about anything else, we get our first draft version from that. And then if it gets super complicated, then the AI will say, hey, this is probably above my pay grade, go talk to someone, okay? So that's just something for you guys to be aware of that people are doing, okay? Another one too is for the image and visuals, right? This is more on like the feel good type of thing, but we can bring back to life extinct birds, or we can use AI to generate entire visuals of what would Honolulu look like with 10,000 EEV native birds flying through the skies. Make it cool exhibits and events around that, use that for fundraising. So what it provides us is a whole new suite of tools, right? ChatGPT is the big one that we're talking about today, but you have visuals, you have text, you have audio that any single person can generate almost unlimited content, which has a whole bunch of things that's going to have repercussions for it. Because this is me playing with put the Palila native Hawaii bird, but cute, give them cute little top hats, right? Super silly, super fun, but this kind of video in a whole Bishop Museum style layout to show people what extinct birds used to look like and spur them to get involved. That's pretty much photorealistic besides the little hats. Imagine if I said, hey, take a picture of him and I want a video of him beating me up. Okay, I can do that too, right? There's a whole suite, like it's not solved yet. I mean, it's so new, but there's so many use cases, both positive and negative, that we're gonna have to deal with over the next 5 years. It's astronomical. But I wanted to illustrate the fun stuff. You guys have the expertise to know, sweet, this teacher who has like 3 hours free per day can generate photorealistic video and content of anyone he wants, anywhere he wants, doing anything he wants. What does that mean for my business or my capabilities or the stuff I'm gonna have to deal with? Okay, so this is Greg Bowman and Alan Surimori. They're legends over at Iolani School for teaching. I mean, they've been teaching longer than I've been alive. But these are the kind of people who aren't gonna tap themselves on the back and be like, you should write a book about me, right? So we had generative AI take their lifetime of teaching notes, all their concepts, all their philosophies, and turn it into a 200-page book like this. This whole project, the first draft, took us about 4 hours of work. This AI tool, just listening to us talk story for 4 hours, got us main philosophies, concepts, generated all the illustrations and visuals in here. We published it to Amazon. I don't care about the copyright, right? We just want to share their story. And now it's up on Amazon. And we ended up selling a couple hundred copies already. Okay. The cool thing about this is I did another talk and training for the Society for Key Women Leaders in Education. So these are the people who are like running Kamehameha schools, running like the different hospitals. And they were saying that imagine this level book of the person in your life that you know they should have a book written about. There should be a whole section in the Hawaii Library about people whose lives are here in Hawaii, who aren't the people who are going to be like hire a ghostwriter and write about themselves, right? So there's a whole lot of good that we can do here in Hawaii. But on the flip side, right, because we're in the law side, I could fabricate any story I want about anyone. There's no barrier now. I could come up with a memoir that just throws a bunch of people under the bus, literally, if I need to, and I'll show you guys that later. But that capability is now here, right? Like a boy from Maui who teaches middle school is generating this in his spare time. So this is where we're kind of headed with all these capabilities. So that's why, like on the educational portion, I really push this messaging out. All eyes are really on us here in Hawaii. We have a crazy amount of nonprofits. We have a crazy amount of cultural diversity, which I think is going to be a really good breeding ground for the unique use cases for these tools, right? We also have very high restrictions and resources. So who can use these tools, the free ones, to generate really cool content and everything? Okay, I'm going to speed through some of these example ones. Illustrations, storybook characters, stuff like that, not super pertinent to our use cases. This is one. I won't say the group that hired us for this one, but this one was, they had an employee handbook that hasn't been updated since 1997. There was nothing in there about cell phone policy, DEI requirements, any of the policy stuff that they needed at that time. They also had no one in the office who was trained in those capabilities to be able to like properly update it, nor the resources to outsource that. So I have here's my employee handbook. I need to update it to 2024, generate a workflow and guide. And not only did it update each section of their employee manual, right? They also taught the staff what they don't know, right? Like here's what you need to go get training for because you have no idea what any of this stuff means. Okay. Original text generation. The only reason I'm standing in front of you today is because AI wrote and emailed, did all the correspondence with him, whether he knows it or not, right? And did all my LinkedIn blogging, all my Substack blogging, all my marketing for me and everything, my TED Talk, all the stuff that I've done in my life. I'm a local Asian boy from Maui. Like I'm not the type of person to talk about like, oh, I'm so great, write an article about me. So I have AI do it for me. So it just documents all the cool projects that I get to work on. And as a result, my brand awareness and what everyone's capable, sees me for is bigger than some people who have entire marketing teams working for them. And it's also, I mean, again, for those of you guys in the more litigious, that side of the world, I'm archiving everything I'm doing. So this could have liability things as well. But the value that it provides me is far outstripped that. Okay. So the big thing that I want to take away from this before we dive into the main part is like in the right hands, AI is amazing a force multiplier, right? It's going to do amazing work for us here in Hawaii. But on the flip side, there's a lot that we're going to have to deal with in our field to help guide Hawaii through these crazy changes, right? It's like when social media and the cell phones came to be, but as a order of magnitude higher. So to address this, I just want to just share only my own personal experiences, but we had a full professional development rollout for all of our staff at Iolani School, 250 plus faculty members doing trainings and ongoing monthly PD support so that all of them are capable and know how to use these tools to their fullest extent so they don't make mistakes with hallucinations. It doesn't like make up facts, or in your guys' case, makes up case law and stuff because it doesn't have proper knowledge at base of it, knowing how to properly use these tools. Starting from middle school, all our students are getting AI literacy training so that by the time they graduate up, they are AI natives, they are AI literate. They know how to use it, when not to use it, and the ethics and everything around it as well. We also have a student digital literacy ambassadors group. So in this group, all the students are the ones who are test beds. If there's a crazy new tool that comes out, I work on it with them and get early feedback on it. Okay, so again, to scare, but not really scare, right? Like AI is not going to take your job, right? No, there's no AI out there that can do law, that can do full arguments or anything like that. I'm sure you guys have seen stories of lawyers who tried and it like made up case law or examples, because all of that knowledge is not online accessible to the internet or in these databases that they trained their knowledge on. Okay. But the students who do know how to use those tools know how to take example case law and evidence and 20,000 emails of discovery, throw it into Notebook LM or something, and have it extract the knowledge that it needs, will be the ones with the skill set to do that. Okay, so our goal for the rest of today is to make AI boring. When the graphing calculator came out, there was someone in here with the graphing calculator being like, you're never gonna have to do math again. That's amazing. Now no one would bring me in if I was talking about graphing calculators. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're trying to make generative AI as standardized and as boring as we expected. So let's go for it. Okay, so for AI Central, this is the super condensed version of it, of how all of this stuff works. So this is the kind of framework. If you're talking to your staff, if you're talking to your teams, we kind of have three main parts you need to know in order to really understand generative AI or ChatGPT or these features in overall. The first one is to understand how it's working under the hood, right? It doesn't have a copy of every case law. It doesn't have a copy of every book ever written that it's going up and looking up. Essentially, it's autocorrect. Who here has an iPhone? Okay, who here has tried to type in the F word with that iPhone?
It works on my phone.
Yeah.
My phone knows it right away.
It knows it right away. So if it auto corrects it for you, right? Yeah. If it auto corrects it to ducking, you have that feature is still turned on. And it's just, you'll notice it will try and auto guess what the next letter is. That's really what's happening with this. So it's going to understand how it's working, how it's trained. Then you have to actually use the tools, right? It's easy to have an opinion that says no AI in my office. It's fine. That's a totally valid stance to take, but it's important to still have spent the 10 hours or so playing with the tool so you know why, right? If someone comes to you with like, you tell them an argument, they come back to you 5 minutes later with 30 pages to give you, you should be able to know how they did that, okay? And then the evaluated part. This is the one where your area of expertise is going to come in because you're the one who has to make the final decision on which tool you use, whether you use tools or not, to be safe and ethical with your data and everything that you're doing with it. Okay, so let's dive into the first one, how to understand it, okay? So how does AI work behind the scenes? Okay, to build these models, this may be redundant to some people, but this is the intro session, so we're doing this. For data set, imagine they took a Costco-sized warehouse full of gaming computers, took a copy of every written book they could ever get their hands on, everything humans have ever written in every language, and put it into that Costco-sized warehouse, okay? Again, it's not all Shakespeare.
They're called libraries.
Yeah. Like that, like take every library from the world and chuck it into Costco, but not just the books, the published books. Imagine like every Reddit thread or angry Twitter rant, all written content they could get their hands on, fed it into this.
I already hate AI.
Yeah.
You mentioned Reddit threads and I'm like already out.
Yeah, it took all data, put it into Gen AI, and then it created a algorithm, which is basically a statistical math model of guessing what the next word is based on all of human language. Then they toss all that data. They don't need it anymore. There's no copy of the book in this new tool, okay? Then that tool can create predictions of what the next letter should be based on any words that you give it. So if I gave it potato chip recipe, based on all human writing, statistically, if I'm talking potato, chip, and recipe, I most likely want measurements, starch, and something else like that. And that's all it's doing, just getting the next letter. So like this sentence I'm telling you right now, I don't have the full thing in my head with punctuation. I'm kind of just going bleh at you, and somehow it's forming opinions and thoughts and conveying it to you. This is the first time computers have done that same thing. So they're just guessing the next word over and over and over and over and over again. It's also why it really sucks at math, because it's not going back and checking anything. It's just okay. So it makes a prediction based on that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an AI in action real quick. Can I borrow that mouse real quick? So this is the one I use with everybody, but because we're here, I'm going to do a quick one. like this. So this is how an AI learns. Okay, can a neural network learn to recognize doodling? So let's try it. Okay, oh man, I am an art major. I graduated with a degree in art. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, crocodile in under 20 seconds. I'm facing backwards too. All right.
I see line. Or saw. Oh, I know. It's crocodile.
Okay, paper. So what the AI is trying to do is guess what I'm generating as I go. Okay, paperclip.
I see frying pan.
Oh, I messed that up.
Or hockey puck. Oh, I know.
There you
It's
go.
paperclip.
Okay, ball.
I see circle. Or moon. Or baseball. Or basketball. Or glasses.
Nope. Oh,
I
I
see
messed it.
doorbell.
It's gone.
Or binoculars. Or yoga.
No, I failed.
Yoga.
Oh, it's definitely yoga.
Yes.
Okay, ceiling fan.
I couldn't guess it. I see ocean. I see green bean. Or snake. Or submarine. Or toothbrush. I see trombone.
Oh my
Or
god, I'm
sea
so bad
turtle.
at this.
Oh, I know. It's ceiling fan.
How did I guess that? That's a terrible, I'm taking your art degree back, honestly.
Right? Okay, here we go.
I see line.
Oh no.
Or paperclip. Oh, I know. It's toilet.
Wow, this is good. Okay, last one.
I see squiggle. Horseshoe. Oh, I know. It's apple.
Okay, so this tool, when it first came out, was terrible. It would get it wrong 99% of the time. Okay, and now you can see, even with my not so great art degree, it did pretty good. Okay, it got the ones that it got. And let's take a look at it. Here's the thing I want to show. It thought I was doing a crocodile, saw, or springboard. As I gave it more data, here's everyone else's drawings. Have I tried this? Here's the thing. Did I give it permission to use my data? I did not. Well, I mean, I did by using the service with the terms and service and stuff.
Right.
But if you're not paying for the language model that you're using, if you're using free ChatGPT, if you're using free Gemini, they're taking that data, adding it to the next Costco warehouse to make ChatGPT 6 or whatever the next one's going to be, right? So that's going to be a whole other area that you guys very specifically are going to have to focus on, even more so than I do. I have to worry about student private data. That's really easy for me to not put in private student data into the database. For you guys, it might be a much different situation. Okay, so that's the main reason we showcase that one, is that yes, it's getting better every day, but we also need to make sure we are aware of what data we're putting into it. Okay, so again, it's just auto-correcting. That's a very cute potato or dog, right? Statistically, it's going to answer that's a very cute dog, because hopefully your potatoes aren't scurrying around and doing cute tricks for you. But at the end of the day, it's all just statistics. That's the one thing I want everyone to take away from this. Try to have this. Okay, so it's just statistics. You're just guessing what comes next. That said, there are biases and errors when you deal with statistics. ChatGPT and some of the AI models think all of these things should be put in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Okay, it's just auto-correcting. It's not intelligent. Okay. That runs into a couple other biases and stuff. So wait, how do I hide this? Yeah, I thought I was just let it go, but there you go. Oh, no, come on, go away. There you go. But the main one for this slide is when you ask it, what is an American, right? It is based off everything humans have generated in the past, all the data they could get. There are more images of certain nationalities and demographics painted in certain ways, so that when you ask it for that, it's just going to generate the statistically largest answer. So it has a bias towards two cultures, Chinese and Western, right? That has the most written text that they were able to get. So whichever culture had the most written junk lying around when they made these models are the ones that are most represented. Okay. All right, so what can it do today? Okay, so again, we talked about these are the main players, the engines that we have, ChatGPT and all of those. Everyone else is just selling you a service around that tool. It costs billions of dollars to make these tools. all of these companies, like the legal assistants, the dental assistants, the vet AI, all of those are just taking a website, feeding your questions to the model and charging you a middleman. Some of these have really good value adds as well, right? There you go. Okay. Some of these like have good value adds. So that wrapper is like a safety layer where your data is kept or destroyed after. That's a really good feature to use. Maybe that's worth the extra $5,000 a month they're charging you, right? For the school one, this is the one where they don't keep any of the student data so that it is compliant with the Department of Education. And now we can do that with all the schools in Hawaii, right? All the schools and all the students in Hawaii are be getting these tools. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other more rough use cases here. I feel bad that the main thing. So that's just talking about concerns and things we should be aware of. Okay. One of the key risks that we're seeing with this is that all the data that you're putting in to these tools, whether it's arguments or emails or whatever, unless you specifically tell it to delete that data or not retain that data, it's got to keep it on the computer somewhere for you to read it again later. And that means just like email, you can ask it again, right? You can request that data, right? They can subpoena it. Same thing for data breaches, right? If whatever reason Microsoft or Google gets hacked and all those emails are released, that's the same level. So I personally treat it the same way I trust Google or Microsoft. Do I trust my email to be searchable and accessible? Yes. So that's how I operate on these things. Okay. There you go. Perfect. From my initial research, their general warning is that don't put any client data into these language models. There are versions that I could set up for you that runs on a home computer in your office and never leaves your site. That may be a solution to this problem. But in general, it says don't, like, if someone has a bunch of confidential information, don't store it in there. It's very unlikely for an individual case where someone's going to go and subpoena all of Google and tell them to get, hey, your new proprietary AI model, I need a copy of everything that is generated from Hawaii in the last 3 years to search. There's some barriers there, but that's for you guys to deal with. That's not a middle school teacher. So other concerns and areas that you should focus on, right? Data retention is the tool that you're using. If it's free, you're the product. They're taking the data and using it to build more products. If you're paying for it, like, so Iolani and Punahou and everyone else is paying, Kamehameha paying for these tools, that way all of their student data is private. They cannot train on it. They cannot use it anywhere. But it is still stored because when you log in the next day, the data is still there. Okay. If there's any other services trying to sell you stuff, just make sure they're not selling it to third parties. And then all the encryption stuff is pretty much taken care of. In terms of other safeguards and everything, the world's still being figured it out right now, right? We don't really know for sure. Okay. So these search inquiries, so if someone turns, how do I make a Molotov cocktail? That's like a Google search, right? You can get that information. Okay, that's something to be aware of. Okay. Then there are ways around it. Like many people, like myself included, you can just download an AI model, keep it on a flash drive and run it at home. And you can have your own personal AI that learns about you and works with you, and it never sees the light of day. God forbid someone needs to thermite their hard drive, and then there's no evidence of that AI. So it's not one way or the other. You can do both of them with the capable technologies today. Okay, so the two things I have no idea what to do, but the AI said I should consult with you guys about is we don't know if any of the outputs constitute like attorney product stuff that you've generated. So like if you feed in your ideas and it generates like an email summary of a meeting that you had with a client, does that fall within protected information? I don't know, that's above my pay grade, right? But that's things to be considered.
I say yes on one and no on two.
Yes on one, no on two? Okay.
That's just my gut.
That's right. Yeah, so.
It depends how much detail you put into the input, right? But
Yeah.
if everything you're putting, if what you're saying is describing what you wanted to do and what you wanted to come up with, that is attorney work product. Privilege, clearly not, based on everything you've said so far.
Yeah.
Unless you've got the siloed system that you made for me.
So like if I make an AI and I give it to my client, that might, I have no idea.
Yes,
Not saying
But
anything.
OpenAI,
Nope.
no, on
No.
two.
Okay, all things to be discussed and figured out. Okay, so we have a little bit of time. I want us to actually get hands-on with the next half of the session to actually try these tools, okay? If you're comfortable using this, you can. If not, use mine. You can partner up with the people next to you. We're gonna be talking about what ChatGPT is, and we're gonna be answering those 2 questions that I gave you in the beginning. Okay, so again, ChatGPT is just one of the many models out there that can create human-like text. Just to reiterate that, we're just using our autocorrect feature on steroids today. Okay, we're gonna get started. So on your device or on a laptop or device or whatever you want to try, we're gonna go to chat.openai.com. Okay. And there's 2 things you can do. Okay, so for mine, for Elon, I'm gonna click the EDU account. You can just make a personal account. The easiest is to log in with a personal Gmail or something like that if you want to try it. If you want to try it without logging in, it is free to use without an account, but know that that data is being used on that side as well. If you're using a mobile phone, the app is called ChatGPT. It's a black and white logo. Again, you want to make sure it's not the one at the top of the search feature, because the one at the top of the search feature is an ad someone paid to put there to be like, it's a like AI productivity tool or something like that, right? They're going to charge you $200 a month and then just send you ChatGPT stuff. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes and let people log in and try stuff out. I'll have mine up here as well if anyone wants to give it a shot.
Try what out?
ChatGPT.
Like, well, what do you want me to try? What do you
I'm gonna go through it in a bit. I just want to make sure everyone who wants to get an account up and running can get an account.
I don't want an account, but this is just like the basic, right?
Yep, just the free one.
Okay, great.
All right, you can use the web app or you can go with ChatGPT on your phone. Does anyone want to try it without and don't have a phone, for example? Yes, so yeah, you can go on the App Store. Yep, that one. All right, does anyone want to try it but don't want to use their own phone? Everyone try it? There we go. If it falls asleep, just call at me. This is a pro version, so you're gonna have everything in there. So you just type whatever you want and it'll do that.
Here's the choice.
Yep, ChatGPT, the first one.
Not the free one.
So you want this one on the App Store. So if
It's
you're
not
doing,
that store, isn't it?
this is web browser, yeah. Do you want the app or do you want the web browser? It doesn't matter which one.
But you can see the web.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right, that's it.
we want. Be like the top 2 our ads, right? We want ChatGPT. Okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just added that.
Look at this.
Okay, this is the one that you install, and that's the official one. Hey, does anyone else need help getting ChatGPT? Okay, no, that's the ad one. Okay. Yeah, so we want ChatGPT app. And not ChatGPT bot, we want ChatGPT now available.
We do a painting. Oh,
App Store is gonna be there. Oh, here, there, App Store. This is the one you want. So while this is installing. While that's going, I'm gonna install that other one. Yeah. So that one was just a company that was gonna send it out. That's good. Okay, you can sign up, we can just use it free. All right, let me just make sure everyone's good. Perfect.
Explain.
Okay. And then, yep. Okay. Okay, cool. You don't need Plus if you don't want to though.
I think I used up all my.
Oh, you're free. Oh, okay, then. Okay. Does anyone else need help? Going once, going twice? Okay, don't worry, I'm around. We're gonna, can you click the? Yes.
Can I continue with Google or just use?
Continue with Google is what I would use.
That's one.
Yeah, the Google one is the best one, okay? So you're all gonna put me out of work right now, okay? You're gonna just ask the question, how do I best use ChatGPT? Okay, and now my consulting business is gone. I can go back and hang out with middle schoolers coding little apps.
That would be so much more fun.
Oh, I have like the best job in the world, it's great.
Why would you love that? Okay.
Okay, so how do I best use ChatGPT? If you want to get more advanced, you can also say, I'm a lawyer in Hawaii. Because then it will say lawyer uses of ChatGPT, but this is a good standard one. You can ask it follow-up questions. The goal for this one is just to get used to texting it like you would text any other person. Okay, so try to ask it, how do I best use ChatGPT? And then read the output.
That's me for my birthday.
You're not allowed to post that.
It just, oh yeah, because it's not allowed to be under 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
How to stay in shape.
yeah.
Sleep and recovery.
Like, I know I'm a big proponent to like emerging technology because I've done it my entire life. Like I was one of the first ones to be trying to do digital photography when everyone was still in the blackroom stuff, then Wacom tablets, doing digital painting on that stuff, doing visual effects, filming vertical instead of horizontal. So this is a very uncomfortable place to stand in. But the kind of stuff that you can ask this tool, for me, the individual benefit it's given me in my life and my businesses
Okay.
outcomes everything. The answer about entering age, this is to make sure you are not a minor because they don't want to deal with all the privacy things that under 13 have to deal with. So you can go for this. On the App Store, it should be the official black and white OpenAI one. The logo should look exactly like this. If you see something green, or if you see something like that, it'll be different. Feel free to email me anytime. I can walk you through the actual app. Those of you guys following online, it'll be a lot easier just to open up a web browser and just go to ChatGPT. Chat.openai.com.
Question?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not a litigator, although I'm doing my debut soon and I'm
Nice.
definitely gonna win. However, the services like LexisNexis and Westlaw, they must have AI built in, and in those instances, when you're using those services, because it's closed keeper, it's like a silo,
Mhm.
that has to be,
Yeah, because I can set up one for any office, like just here's a computer. So when they say that, all it is it's a computer that only you have access to.
no,
and
but
they
I'm
have
asking,
extra
don't
rules.
they already, what I'm asking you is the services that are available to litigators already
Mhm.
must have this capability built in. There's no way LexisNexis and Westlaw don't have AI built in there so that,
I'm not familiar then. I haven't worked with those tools, but many tools are adding AI, but all they're really doing is using ChatGPT. Sure, it could be siloed, and then they tell ChatGPT, hey, run a server for us, but don't let anyone see it.
yeah, and use only the real cases and the real.
So that they can't do yet. Because the base model, the base engine, doesn't have current access to all of case law, because you can't just Google case law and see it on the
Right,
web.
but if they put AI in there,
If someone has a Costco warehouse of every
Yeah,
case law
that's what
somewhere
LexisNexis and
and
Westlaw.
has a language model that lets you search that, that would be pretty cool. I don't know if they have that capability yet,
Oh my
because they
God,
also
you came into
cost
a
a lot.
seminar at the bar and you don't know that?
No,
There's an
I have
answer
no-
right there. Lexus has their own AI.
so they do have their own AI generative tool.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, how do I best use AI? Here, can you click over to slide? Awesome. Okay, so boom, it just gave me a summary of how to best use ChatGPT. Okay. Click, click, click. Start clicking it again. There you go. Okay, so the way I want you to look at that chat that you just generated, and this is just a very overview of how these tools work in general. Each chat is basically a self-contained conversation. It took a copy of the AI and use it for just that conversation. So if you want to talk about surfing or fitness or something, that one chat will be there for just that, right? It'll be there just for fitness or just for that one topic. It won't know what you said in all the other chats, okay? So to access your chats, you can go to each of the other tabs on the left-hand side, and you can click make a new chat or make a new conversation about a different topic that you want to talk to it about. Okay, we'll go over how to edit and retrain and all that stuff as well. You can attach PDFs and images or data like that, and how you can talk to it with voice, but that's the main one I want to show today. So I'm going to take the wheel real quick and then see if I can get to my ChatGPT. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so say you have your thing, like how do I get in shape in Hawaii? Like that, okay? It will, based on all of human knowledge that's been archived, it will answer some of those, right? It will answer the question. Sweet, I want to ask it how to cook how to make a spam musubi. Well, I don't want to ask it, I don't want it to be involved with push-ups and musubi. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Okay, and once I'm logged in, you'll see all these chat windows. So I have thousands of chats that I have of just every time I talk to the AI separately, I want to talk to it about a different subject. So I can make a new chat here about something else. And here I have all these, right? Bus fare info, how do I get here, all that stuff, game design, level design, all the stuff that I've done here as well. Okay, so if I ask, how do I make chicken katsu. Okay, sweet. This is my cooking AI. I'm going to talk to this about all my cooking assistants and stuff. Oh, wait, okay, so that's my ingredients. New chat, new window for a separate one that says, I want to take my girlfriend to Japan, give me a 12-day itinerary, and I need lots of hikes. Okay, spelling doesn't really matter. Luckily, this is recorded for all time, so everyone will know that I spelled that wrong. And I have a different chat now about all of this. Okay, arrival, potential dates, things that we can do, so on and so forth. If we both ask it the same question, we're not going to get the same answer because it's statistics. It's like a branching, just like speech. So as long as I change it a little bit, each of you will get a slightly different tour. So say I want to go back to my cooking, clicking here. Okay, I can go back here, and now I can go back and talk to it separately about this subject. So you try to keep your chats organized. That's just a general tool set. Okay. 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 All right. So we're gonna make a new chat, and we're gonna try this. Okay. So we're gonna make a new chat because now the Hawaii State Bar has told me that you all have a $500 budget. Thank you for spam musubis. Okay, so I want you to ask it, draw me a $500 spam musubi, a luxury $500 spam musubi in a new chat. Because if you put it in your old chat, it's going to get mixed up with what you were talking about before. It's like mid-conversation, you start talking of changing subjects on them, right? So make a new chat, have it draw me a $500 spam musubi. And I like to collect these. So if you would like to send it to me, you can. Those of you guys in chat, feel free to throw it my way. Or I can put my email up. Let me just edit this. There you go.
Oh, you gotta log in.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So if you do generate one really cool, please show it to the person next to you. And then we'll go around that way. So we want to show what it's capable of doing with that. Doing a new chat.
Okay, new chat.
Yeah, new chat. Otherwise it's going to get confused with what you were talking about before. Perfect. And if you don't want to type, you can also just use the voice to text feature. So here we're going to use a new chat. Oh yeah. So this one. Oh yeah.
I didn't get the $sign in there.
Yeah. Draw me a photo a photo of a $500 luxury spam.
Picture, not a photo, right?
Oh yeah, picture, photo.
Well, a photo is.
It can do a painting. It can do all kinds of stuff for you.
Draw me a
Okay.
picture of.
Oh yeah, so for yours, so here's the cool thing about these slides. Yesterday, ChatGPT launched a new feature, which is an improved image generator, and you just have to be logged in for it. But I'll do it up here for anyone who's just following along.
Log in, sorry.
All good. Watch it.
But it's really excited to help me. Once you're logged in, I can totally
Look at
help
ours.
with an exclamation point. So that's cute. Look at yours. Is it cute?
Yes. Hard to see from that. distance.
Oh man, the slides. Okay, I'm putting this computer to its paces.
Yeah, sorry, our computer is a little slow.
Let's do Musubi.
Let's make it $1,000.
Okay, all right, so here's what everyone sent me from our last, I think this was the business law section. And they had, there you go. I was like, I definitely can't afford that. Definitely can't afford that. Pretty sure that's Vienna sausage. But it's got like gold leaf and everything, right? It's generating these as well.
Beautiful.
Lovely. I have a new startup for farmers market.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's take it a bit further. Okay. Draw me a picture of a car accident in Waikiki where a Tesla hits the bus. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's lagging. Okay. It's doing its best. Okay, I won't zoom in on that one. But you guys are making cute little spam musubis. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. You're one day gonna have to deal with someone generating a picture. It's like, oh, he hit me. Take a picture. Generate me a picture of them hitting me instead. Okay. Yes, with enough effort, you can debunk that, right? You can do the forensics and all that stuff. But insurance companies are gonna have to deal with like thousands of these per day, per minute. Like it takes me 10 seconds, as long as you took to make that spam OCB, to generate a picture of literally anything. Okay. There's a,
So they can't create images depicting violent or harmful events like vehicle crashes.
Yes.
That's what I said.
so OpenAI wants to make money, so they try to put guardrails on it that say do that, but then you can keep like this thing called prompt engineering, where you can get around that, or you can just download one of the offline tools, run it on this computer, and generate whatever you want on the fly. And this is where they're probably coming into a large problem with deep fakes and like revenge porn and like all kinds of stuff that's above my pay grade as a middle school teacher.
Well, I would
Oh.
hesitate to say that because I've heard some things about middle school.
Oh, yes. Above my pay grade as a teacher, that's admin problem. Okay, that's not for me, that's, I'll just send it up to the chain for that.
$10.
Yeah.
$500 bill under. Oh.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Once you create a chat, are you able to delete it?
So you can delete it, but I, as a person in Hawaii who don't has physical access to their servers, do not know if the delete button actually deletes stuff, like Snapchat, right? All these kids growing up with Snapchat thinking that it deletes stuff, it deletes you from seeing it. I don't think they're actually going into the server. Like I mean, again, I don't know for sure, but unless you're paying for the service, and like we do, we pay for a service that says we are protecting our data, we don't know, right?
Even still,
Even
there
still,
might be a copy of it somewhere.
yeah, Google, Microsoft, do you trust them storing your
Yeah, are
Google
you gonna,
Drive
are you
data?
gonna sue them over it when
Yeah.
they find it, somebody finds it?
Okay, so these are some of the examples. Click, click.
I think the battery might be
Yeah.
dead.
Okay, so we're not gonna have time for the editing. There's a whole lot of use cases from here. So that was like first 5 minutes of like a full day training on how to use these tools, examples and everything like that. I just wanted you to get started, okay? And you can also share and link those. You can also attach files. So for me, like here's 60 pages of research that I want to incorporate into my lesson. I can just attach all those documents here and say, use this data and information to come up with your answer. And that's where I think a lot of you guys are gonna do. That's where I think a lot of the work that your field is gonna be doing is, I have specific data. I want you to reformat this, or here's 20,000 emails. Find me all the facts about this interaction, or tell me where I should look more. Cutting down on discovery a lot is my personal biased opinion of where a lot of that is gonna be first use, so on and so forth.
Well, it's clear you can limit the data space that.
That's, yeah. And that's how you combat the hallucination. So many lawyers got into trouble so far because, here.
The thing is going crazy.
Yeah, it's talking at us now. It's funny because it's actually doing my job for me right now. Okay. Hey, I still want to be employed. Go away. Okay. So it was explaining all the things that I was just talking about as well. Where was I? Okay, data privacy and stuff. So when the lawyers who got on the news, national news, that got in trouble for this, they did it because they just asked it, hey, here's my case, defend my person. So it generated auto-correcting a case study that doesn't exist, or an example that doesn't exist, because it doesn't have a physical copy of all the case law that it can go and reference. Sorry, lots of AI going on today. Okay, so in the short term, while you're experimenting with it, even on the free account, even if you're logged in, the safest thing you can do is you can just turn off the data training, right? There are the level of trust, like, do you trust Gmail to delete your email when you click the delete button?
No.
That's the kind of thing that you got to decide. So don't put your case study in there just yet, but you can, on the settings on yours, and I can show you this after the session, you can just turn that off so that your data is private to you. Private to you in the same way that your email is private to you, right? Your Gmail is private to you.
Yeah, not private at all.
Okay. Okay, so on the voice one, we already saw 2 of those pop-ups. If you don't like typing so much, if you like just talking at it like me, I use this to practice all my debates and arguments. I've never lost an argument in the shower afterwards. I always lose it to AI. Okay, so you can use the voice feature on it, and you can just talk to it more organically if you just need a thought partner in your cubicle away from everyone to just figure stuff out. This one is really fun. It's also a lot of humbug. Okay, so we have not a lot of time. We have a couple minutes left. So the last one, we have that personal goal or dream. So we're gonna make a new chat, and I want you to use it for something in your non-work personal life. Okay, so for me, I do either the first one, ask the ChatGPT how I can help something that's a pain point, or number two, have a personal goal or dream that you want to do, a trip, ask it for itinerary to a trip, ask it for some recipes, ask it to how do I make more time to hang out with my family, what are some cool activities I can do with my kid, explain to me what Skibbity Ohio Riz means, whatever you want to do, right? I want to be able to communicate with the lingo that my kids are doing, whatever you want to explore with that, okay? All right, thank you guys so much for coming. After this, I'll have a couple more fun sessions, but this wraps up the main gist of everything. Yeah, and we'll go at it from there. Yeah. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, go around, try out the tools. I'll come on and help you as well for the last 2 or 3 minutes or so. Thank you guys so much for your time. And again, I'm around if you ever need help.
We make the new question.
On the top left-hand side,
Oh,
there's a new,
pencil thing like
the little
your-
square icon thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Did you make the presentation available on your website?
Yes, I'll have, so I'm gonna put these slides and everything up on my website, GabrielYanagihara.com. Under the workshops, I'll have the Hawaii State Bar Association workshop website. It'll all be here. You can also just email me. Again, my whole website and everything's AI generated as well, but you can email me.
No,
and I'll
you
give
don't have to.
You have a newsletter too. Can you
Yes.
tell us about that?
Yeah. It'll be up there. So for those guys online, we do have, just email me, get in contact with me, and I'll share a lot more resources with you on how we do that.
Awesome.
Yeah. And as a final go away with our last minutes, I wanted to show you another fun activity that we did with AI. We didn't even get to touch on AI video yet, and this is the one that I've been doing most recently. I don't know how many of you guys have seen this video of the humpback whale in the Alawai Canal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I made that with my students. It was everywhere. So we have capabilities of creating photorealistic video just around here in Hawaii, right? Like, yes, this is fun, but imagine having to deal with that traffic stop. Go with a jet ski in Waikiki, right? We had one that was, well, it rained so much, Diamond Head is full of water. Yeah. So this is part of an outreach thing that my students did. Like, how do we get all of Hawaii to know what AI is capable of without scaring people? Well, let's do fun ones of like the high school mascots, according to AI. So everyone loves their high school in Hawaii. We made all of these. That was me, yeah. So we made all of these, and the students were like, "Oh, do my high school, do my high school, do my high school." So we did all of these, and now all the football games we're gonna have like NFL level like graphics and everything for everybody. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you guys for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, if anyone, I know we didn't get to answer questions, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to email please feel free to email Gabriel Yanagihara at gmail.com, and then hopefully he'll get time to answer them.
Yes, I'll have plenty of time to talk story and everything as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Our next coffee hour will be on May 1st. So
And
we'll
thank-
send out more information throughout the month. So be on the lookout for your emails. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your time. Yeah, if you guys want to see any of the student books, come take a peek at them over here.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.